Shalom, shalom, Nashpaka. This Bakar, we're going to do a quick study on the origin of the praying hands. Alright, the reason I want to bring this up to you is not necessarily if you have any images on your wall or things made out of statues or whatever, you know, all that stuff is idolatry. But in Christianity, you know, it's majorly big to see the praying hands on pictures in folks' homes, on statues, and all this other stuff spread about. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about. You should have enough sense of that right now in your walk with Yahuwah to remove those things. What I want to talk to you about is the emoji praying hands that a lot of y'all use in responses on comments or whatever. However you use it. You know, it's kind of like research before you use kind of thing, right? And knowing that the emojis, they're used by the whole WORLD. And you should really research the origin of that. We had an AKHUTH a while back. She did a great video on the emojis and how every emoji symbol is linked to a RaSHA Shad or a DEMON. But yeah, I'll try to find that video and put it in the description to this. That way you can go watch it. But right now, I'm going to read to you the origin of the praying hands. Okay? The origin of the praying hands gesture, where the palms are pressed together with fingers pointed upward, is multifaceted. I think that's how you pronounce that. While often associated with Christianity, its roots are older, were found in various cultures. It's thought to have originated from a gesture of submission in ancient Roman practices. All right, where you see R-O-M-A-N, that's supposed to be room, R-U-M, not R-O-M-A-N. R-O-M-E is a RaSHA cod. The right, the bar is R-U-M. Okay, room. Anyway, in ancient room practices, religious historians link the posture to the act of shackling a prisoner's hands, symbolizing surrender. The gesture appears in feudal rituals where a person swearing fealty would place their hands in this way, or their L-O-R-D or their B-A-A-L would place theirs over them, signifying a similar kind of submission. Furthermore, the famous praying hands drawn by Albrecht Dürer, though iconic, was actually a preparatory sketch for a larger sketch, because P-I-E-C-E, P-E-A-C-E, you know, same devar, illustrating a apostle's hands, not a standalone symbol of prayer at the time. All right, now we're going to get into the history of it, right? And over here, I just wanted to show y'all something. Let me find my little pointer. Use a pencil. You can come over here too and click on this. What are the origins of Setian prayer gestures? Beset by thieves, murderers, ravaging armies, famines, many, you know, blah, blah, blah. You can click on these too and learn different things. The origin of the folding hands, prayer posture that dominates, divine coders, you know, click, you know, if you want to learn more, click on that, but have discernment, Mashpaka. Don't believe everything you read until you dig further and you have more than 2 witnesses, all right? Okay, back over here. Here's more detailed breakdown. Ancient Rome practices. In ancient Rome, the gesture of joining hands was a way to surrender or show submission. Ancient Rome. We're not talking about Albrecht, you know, or Yahuwah or Yahusha. We're talking about ancient Rome here. In feudal systems, the societies, this gesture was part of a ceremony where a vassal would pledge allegiance to their L-O-R-D or B-A-A-L. Same debar. Durer's praying hands, his drawing created around 1508, was initially a study for the hands of an apostle, and we know that apostle is a pagan term, in his painting, Assumption or Coronation of the Virgin. We all know that's associated with the Catholic hoo-ha. It was not initially intended to be a standalone symbol of prayer, though. Symbolism. Regardless of its origin, the gesture of praying hands is now widely recognized as a symbol of piety, humility, or supplication. It is used across various religions or cultures as a way to express reverence or devotion. Let me read a little part of that again. Regardless of its origin. That's where folks really like to go. Regardless of this or that, regardless of the reason this was originated, or bara, created, to them, it doesn't mean nothing. It means how they do it this yom, or how their grandpa did it back in his yom. They don't care of the origin, regardless of its origin. You cannot change the origin of anything whatever. You can't do it. What it's made from is what it was done. It was bara, created, to do. Okay. Now, different traditions, while often associated with sanity, the gesture is found in Hinduism, Buddhism, other traditions, though often with variations in how it's performed. All right, there's you a breakdown of the origin of the praying hands. Now let's go somewhere what a lot of y'all will recognize. Look at there, the emojis of the praying hands. How many of y'all use these? I'm sorry, Y is not a tube to bar. How rabah, very much of y'all use these. And they come in all kinds of skin tones or skin colors, whatever the bar you want to use there. All kinds of little shapes and sizes. But see, these are the emojis. And I see them all the time. Okay? These are the praying hands. The hands of submission, to BAAL. That's why it's important to study origins. I can't drive that into y'all hard enough that you need to study the origins of things. You know, don't just use something because it's cute. And y'all, those of y'all out there doing the whole AI thing, giving AI your voice, giving AI your permission to use your pictures, basically giving AI its own voice through you. As Yahuwah's Yaladim, his children, we are not to be playing with the beast. AI, have you ever even looked it up? I am working on a video about it, and its origin, of course, and it goes way deeper than what is around right now. I mean, everything has an origin. AI is actually, and I probably need to quit calling that out, is actually a RaSHA Origin of its own. I have it in a book that dates back to the GODs of the ball. It's part of it, and it originates back to ATHENA, and then there's another thing back in Greek, TALUS. But my point being is, why are y'all using cartoons, and why are y'all letting the beast have your voice? Why are you allowing the beast system to write or do songs or shirim for you? What is up with that? We do not mix the clean with the unclean, mashpaka. We have to think. You know, everything's out there to draw you in. You need to go back and read the book of Adam AKHUTH. And I believe it's the second book of Adam AKHUTH. And I'll get that back out. And it talks about, I think his sham was Ganan, and how Ganan was what you call it, MUSICIAN. And the RaSHA Origin, Hashatan, he gave him the talents, if you will, on how to play every single instrument out there. And he used these instruments to lure the Kudash from the top of the Har down to his lair, basically, down off of the Kudash Har, the Mountain. That's a whole nother story for another thing. But my point is, stop using AI. Don't use AI. Stay away from it. If you have anything you created with it, or bara, excuse me, delete it, destroy it. Do not give it your breath. Some of these things are just obvious, but I guess sometimes you have to be, it has to be thrown in your face. Don't do this. And then all of a sudden, oh wow, it happened to me where I was going across looking for Sharim of Yahuwah, and I came across this YouTube, and I was like, oh wow, look at all these beautiful Sharim, and they had a different sound to some of them, and some of them were like kind of countrified, like I'm a country gal, and I liked the tune of it, but more than that, I hobbled the debarim of it. But then I found out I had a AKHUTH like reach out to me very kindly, and she told me what that channel was made of, and I was like, oh wow. And I did not realize that it was an AI channel made in the form of Yahuwah Sharim, or Yahuwah SONGSs. And I had shared some of those, and I had went back immediately and deleted those. And it was like, we can all be lured, but when we have a mashpaka that is looking out for Lanu, they draw you out of that. They snatch you out of the ash, or the fire, and I am greatly tuda to my AKHUTH that did that. And she knows who she is. Yada Yahuwah. All right. This video, basically was about the origin of the praying hands. Another thing is, don't use emojis. Do not use emojis, mashpaka. They are RaSHA. All of them. They can look innocent, cute, little cat figure or whatever, but no. You do not know what kind of spell was written to bara that little creature, okay? Or the praying hands, or the raising of the hands, or the smiley faces. All of that is RaSHA. Stay away from it. But I wanted to bring this up to you to show you, to catch your attention. Hey, you pay your mind. If you're doing this, don't do it. I have shared with y'all the HEART symbol before. Y'all don't listen. Y'all are constantly using it. It's like, okay, stiff-necked, stubborn-minded there. You're going to use it anyway. But yeah, whenever you're told, you can't unhear what you're told. You can't unsee what you've seen. We need to do more of these for each other, mashpaka. We need to look after each other. We need to keep each other from danger, okay? All right. Apollo Yahuwah Barak Ua Shamar Ta Mashpaka. Be a Baruch to be a Baruch. Share Yahuwah. Share the Ha'amath through Yahusha. Our Hamashiach, our Mashiach, to who gave all through Yahuwah. Shalom mashpaka. Call Yada Yahuwah. Call Yada Yahuwah. Halau Yahuwah. Yashra.